last year, and there were times when Perry Jones looked like he didn't want to be the go-to scorer. That really, when you look at it, Quincy Miller was going to come in and be the guy. Not the case if you watch Perry Jones since that early season suspension. 28 against BYU. In a road win against 24,000 Screaming Coug fans.
That's a deep two-pointer going down for Kirk Van Slyke.
Van Slyke's been impressive, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
He's crashed. He got not one offensive board that he had stripped from him. One that he tipped the ball and ended up keeping the ball alive. And now this is Tyler Neal's a favorable matchup for him defensively.
Kirk Van Slyke, the last member of this Houston team that played for Tom Penders on that NCAA team a few years ago. Pledger, the hitting the threes, gets a big offensive rebound and stick back.
And of course that team won the Conference USA tournament in Tulsa in order to make that run to the NCAA tournament. Tom Penders retired at the end of that.
And right here in Oklahoma City, a tied game. Gibson fouled in the lane. We'll get to the line. And a reminder, coming up tomorrow here on ESPNU, more college basketball. First at 1 Eastern. Two of the top women's teams in the nation, Notre Dame and Kentucky. That's at 1 Eastern time. Then at 3 Eastern, men's college hoops, Florida State and Loyola Marymount. Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers on ESPNU coming up Sunday afternoon.
Leonard Hamilton getting a chance to take Mike Snare home. McDonald's All-American, grew up in Southern California. Bernard James, of course, an Air Force vet. His star big man. And to those of you who are returning home from war in Iraq, just a big thank you from all of us here at ESPN. Seen so many of you in the airports as we travel around doing our business. It's great to see you back stateside.
Absolutely, at this holiday time of year. In a different vein, you know, after we were at shoot-arounds today, so much great action on our ESPN family of networks. So watching college football, and the bowl parade is underway, and great holiday action from college hoops, including 2 games we have for you here. Here's Fitzgerald on his second attempt. He'll get a third in traffic. Very strong move by Andrew Fitzgerald. We'll have Oklahoma State and New Mexico over on ESPN2 right after this ball game, which should be a lot of fun. New Mexico out of the Mountain West. And Oklahoma State about an hour's ride, your old stomping grounds in Stillwater?
Be about an hour from Oklahoma City. We're about 20 minutes from Norman.
Grooms does not pass and puts it in with the left hand. I like Sam Grooms. He's been impressive.
He's an absolute difference maker. I mean, the 3 big differences in this team is, one, Lon Kruger has clearly reinvigorated the entire program. Secondly, Sam Grooms' leadership at the point guard spot, and then Romero Osby inside.
It's going to go to Oklahoma off the miss.
This is when you're Sam Grooms and your point guard, and you're a pass-first point guard, you want to make the defense commit to stopping you. They don't commit. You simply lay the ball in. And Young says, look, I'm not going to let you throw the alley-oop, but that's horrible deep. You can't give away a straight line layup from midcourt.
You have to pick your poison, but you have to play the percentage, and that's the better percentage is to go after the
No, you want to fake. But at the end of it, you can't just let Sam Grooms lay the ball in, regardless of the fact he's averaging 6 a game coming in.
Sam Grooms, 6'1" junior from Greensboro, North Carolina. Fitzgerald doubled and hit as he made his way toward the basket. Andrew Fitzgerald will get 2 free throws. And Leon Gibson will pick up the foul. That is number 1 on Gibson. 7th team foul.
You know, just to follow up on Grooms, he comes from Chipola, which is a very well-regarded junior college program, but junior college basketball has been down nationwide. And the reason behind it is so many players now go to some of these different, whether they're real or kind of invented prep schools. Some have been around for 100 years, some have been around for 100 minutes, but still they do so in order to help gain credits, work towards passing the SAT or the ACT. And so it's really diminished some of the players, and maybe the ratings of some of the players coming out of junior college basketball. But you look at Grooms, you look at Pierre Jackson, who's the starting point guard for Baylor. And in the Big 12, those are 2 very important point guards to their program.
Houston down 5. We're under a minute to go in the first half. threw it out wide open with Simmons. Instead, he'll drive. A strong move to the rim.
Well, John Simmons, in the ideal sweep, one dribble, get to the rim. That looked way too comfortable and way too much like a summer workout to be real.
Williams looking to load up Fitzgerald. And he travels with the ball. Duke Edsel making the call, and Fitzgerald didn't believe it. Timeout called by Houston here with the shot clock off.
Here's Simmons. You work on this in practice a lot. You work on this in individual workouts. Pump fake, jab step, one dribble, and go lay it in. Wow, nobody home. That is a losing play from Tyler Neal. He has to go over and help. Now, why would you call a timeout here? So use it or lose it timeout. You look at the bottom of our screen. You have both teams in the bonus, and you get 5 timeouts, but you have to use one before the break or you lose it. Lon Kruger, you want to talk about an amazing career. From Texas Pan Am to taking Kansas State to the Elite Eight, to Illinois, rebuilding that program, onto the NBA, and then after the NBA he goes to UNLV, and with his son at the point guard spot, he goes to the 2007 Sweet 16. He left a tremendous program for Dave Rice. Of course, they go on the road. In Chicago, they beat Illinois by 16. And to any of you running Reb fans, yes, he was watching the game, still follows his Rebs, still has a home in Vegas. And now already reinvigorating this program. He said he's most struggling with calling it the Big 12 because he coached in the Big 8, he played in the Big 8, and he's just used to being the Big 8. And of course, now you get a chance to go to all those northern schools every year.
How about some stuff you may not know about Lon Kruger? There you go. Kansas State, you mentioned, played in Manhattan, drafted in the 9th round back when they had more than 2 rounds in the NBA draft. And look at that, played minor league baseball as well.
I actually might know that since my father was on staff at Kansas State when he was a player.
So you were listening to Dad.
Yeah, well, you know. Lon Kruger actually is one of the tremendous things he's done here, because they've had the coaching turnover. Jeff Capel here for just a handful of years. And, of course, Kelvin Sampson, the way it ended when he left and went to Indiana with the school on probation. He brought back as many as 40 former players from Oklahoma, different generations of players. Even the great Alvin Adams came back, and he wants to make it a yearly occurrence. You're always welcome in Norman as long as he's running this program.
Both teams using their use it or lose it. And Houston has 7 seconds here in the half. Van Slyke's been hot late in the half, missing a 3. They get